thing I'm curious to get your take on, Tan, is can a reduced distractions phone improve your attention? And I'm really curious what you think about these types of phones. And what started this whole thing is I was reading this article in The Verge about the Nothing Phone 1. Funny name, the Nothing Phone 1. And it's basically an Android phone that has, they say, a stripped down version of Android. But their main differentiating features, it has these lights on the back and shapes that they call glyphs. And basically, what you can do is you can set different glyph patterns to different, say, contacts or types of notifications or emails or whatever, so that if your phone happens to be lying there and the back of your phone flash a certain way, then you know, oh, I have a text from my wife or something like that, so I better pick it up. And the converse of that is that if you don't see that flashing, then you don't need to check your phone because nothing is important happening because nothing's blinking. And this whole thing, anybody who's been around for a while will be laughing at this, because my first reaction to this is I was thinking about going back to my old BlackBerry days. And any BlackBerry user will be very familiar with this concept, because there was always be like a blinking light on the back of your BlackBerry. And so anytime somebody, myself included, would see your phone blinking, you would know you had some reason to grab your phone and check it out. And at first I was thinking, do I really want to go back to being a slave to the blinking light? But then I was thinking about it from the flip side of that, which is if you don't see those glyphs or whatever, then you know that there's nothing important happening. So maybe you would be less likely to pick it up. And that's one way of having these reduced distractions phones, is having the glyph. But you could even go further. There's one called the light phone, which I know was getting a lot of buzz in the productivity world a while ago. And basically, the light phone is about the size of an old iPhone 3. So it's a small phone with an e-ink screen, so a similar screen to the Kindle. And really, it can't do too much except make calls. It can text, but it does have this feature called Tools, where it actually has a very simplified podcast player. It has a very simplified music player. So it can do some of the things that you would want a smartphone to do, but it's, like I said, intentionally boring, e-ink screen, intentionally limiting. And what do you think about this concept of these distraction-free phones? Could you ever see yourself using them? Could you see yourself recommending it to somebody if they were maybe somebody who is struggling with getting distracted by their phone? What do you think of all this?
Personally, I think it's super smart. I think a lot of people would benefit from this, because how many times do you check your phone and you go, okay, I wonder if I got an email, or I wonder if I got a text, or I just want to check this thing real quick. If you can, from a distance, look at your phone and see that there's no particular signal indicating that there's anything there for you to check, then you don't create this relationship or this habit of saying, oh, let me just check my phone to see what's there. So I think it's genius. I think it's something that should be designed in the phone hardware itself, so that it doesn't make you want to check your phone all the time. And you just, if you do want to check it, you just take a quick glance, you go, oh, no, there's nothing there. All right, I can just move forward, and it makes it easier to focus. So I think it is actually something that all phone manufacturers should create, because when we think about our environment, most people underestimate the power of our environment. It's actually much more influential than we think it is. So to give you an example, if I have cookies in my home, and I don't even am a cookie lover, I like to eat cookies, but I'm not like a cookie monster or anything. But if I have cookies in my home, then I will find them and eat them at some point if I know that I have them. Just if I have Sour Patch Kids at home, like those things will be gone. Even though I can eat in moderation, it will be gone in a few days. If I compare that to, say, not having it in my home whatsoever, even though I like it, because it's not here, I'm not thinking about it, I'm not munching on it, I'm not going to even reach for them if I don't think I want it. And so it's never going to be a problem. So I think most of us really underestimate the power of our environment. Just one of the productivity tips we always tell people is, if you can't focus, clean your desk, because that's the first thing that you can do to help you regain your focus. And if you have a messy desk, it just screams distraction, because something you always like to say, Brooks, is clutter is delayed decisions. So when you see clutter all over, it represents delayed decisions. And if you see that, it's pulling at your attention a little bit to say, oh yeah, I need to move this, or I have to clean that, or at some point I have to set this up, and there's like a manual there. I'm like, oh yeah, at some point I should read that. It's just taking away from your focus. So I think your environment is so much more important than we think it is. And so I do know one thing that people tend to do. This is a feature that's actually currently already existed on most phones is they grayscale it, meaning you can actually set it up on your iPhone and most other phones as well. But I know for me, if I tap the power button 3 times, very quickly, it'll turn my phone into a grayscale. I have a few friends who've done that and they find it very helpful where it doesn't become so addicting because when you look at your phone, everything is grayscale. So photos don't look that enticing. You can read the information that you're looking for, but it's not as addicting compared to color. That's something that you might want to consider as well.
I just think it's funny because when people were, especially when companies were switching employees over from Blackberries to smartphones, one of the things people were really complaining about is losing that blinking light. And now it seems like we're going full circle and it's starting to come back. So who knows, maybe the iPhone 15 will have a blinking light. We'll have to see.